I'm Matt Gross, the Frugal Traveler for the New York Times. This summer, I'm embarking on the grand tour of Europe. Over 12 weeks, I'll seek out ancient history and contemporary culture. I'll find cool hotels and eat memorable meals. And I'll stretch the US dollar to the breaking point. Finally, I was going to Monaco. The place to be when you've got sports cars to drive, money to burn, or a yacht to sail. As usual, I had none of the above, but I did have a nice, affordable hotel, the Azur. The room itself wasn't much, but it did have a lovely balcony, and I had high hopes for Monaco, hopes that were soon dashed by an unexpected foe, the rain. Yes, it was gray, wet, and far from sexy in Monaco. And of course, as soon as I left, the weather brightened right up. Anyway, I was going to Menton, the last town in France before you reach Italy. Several readers had recommended Menton as an inexpensive beach town. During my American road trip, I'd driven through the tiny, tiny town of Mentone, Texas, which was actually named from Menton, France. The French version was a beautiful little place with amazing architecture and several beaches, some sandy, most less so.
I know that it's a fairly unchic coast, lots of rocks, more than the big sandy beaches. But me, I adore going in the crevices and prefer walking on the pebbles. I like the way they feel. If you want to see the big sandy beaches, go to the Atlantic coast. That's where they have the super big beaches.
Pebbles are a big deal in Menton. Here on this 17th century fortress, the artist Jean Cocteau used traditional Mentone techniques to make these murals from pebbles. Inside, it's now the Jean Cocteau Museum. Most importantly for me, however, Menton had a hotel I could actually afford. The Hotel Paris-Rome was 50 euros a night, and really quite lovely inside. Although I did have some misgivings about my room. I don't know, is it charming, or did someone's grandma decorate it? As usual, though, I had no intention of just kicking back in the hotel. In the center of Old Menton were a few plazas and a lot of tourists. So I did what I always do, flee into the closest alley. I love this kind of old city where you never know where the paths are going to lead. In this case, I wound up at a hilltop cemetery with views in every direction. Frugally speaking, Menton was a good fit too. My lunchtime kebabs cost almost nothing, and there was free drinking water everywhere. Menton was the perfect beach resort, but as night fell, I also found it a little isolating. Everyone else was there with family and close friends, and not too interested in speaking to the American with the camera. Except, however, at l'eau à la bouche. The real specialty here is fish and seafood, ultra fresh, like this royal dorade that José's son caught just the day before.
He weighs 1.7, 1.8 kilograms, so we'll put him in the oven for 4 people.
José was beyond generous with his time and his products. And after his chef, Simona, showed me around the kitchen, José, with no idea that I was from the New York Times, made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
If you promise to send me a cassette of this video, you can come back tonight and I'll treat you to dinner on me.
That night, I was back. First came those clams, and they went quickly. Then the pasta, which was gone in a few seconds too. And so it seemed as well with my own time in Menton. Beautiful, yes. Affordable, sure. Hey. Relaxing? Well, occasionally. Next, I'm off to Rome, in the heart of the Mediterranean. No rest for me, Matt Gross, the Frugal Traveler.